Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. I just wanted to let you know that what I did is I split the last video up because it got really lengthy, and I just kept on going along trying to show you exactly how to, paint the mouse, and sort of ran on, so I split it up. So hopefully you'll digest the one part, and then this is the final go around for the mouse. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if anybody wanted to try it, I do have kits available for that, which comes with the eyes and the blank and the pattern. Okay, so you can contact me, which is Rauscher, is my email address, Rauscher, Rauscher, Frank, Frank, 7 @gmail.com. And you could ask me for a catalog. I'll send it out to you. And if you would like to order one of them, I could send that out to you, or any of the other videos that I've produced. I have kits for those as well. Plus, I have a whole bunch of kits I make up for all the different projects I did. Not everyone, but I have a lot. And if there's something you're looking for, let me know. And if you're needing equipment or bits or brushes or something like that, let me know, and I can see if I can help you out. So we're going to continue on with this video, and this should finally finish the mouse. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you would, give me a thumbs up, and if you could subscribe to my channel, and also pass my information out there to other friends of yours that may be interested in carving. Okay, really appreciate that, and we will. A gentle touch, and you're exposing the eye. Okay. There you go. Now, almost have that out. Like I said, I'm not trying to take any of the putty out. I'm just going up to where I could get maximum exposure of the eye and not, see? Now, I'll get my brush, just rinse it with water, come in and take the little remnants that we created out of there. Okay, now your eyes are exposed. Now we can really start painting. Okay, so I'm going to move our dryer out of the way. I'm going to turn this around. Now, what I'm going to get is, I'm going to get ivory black. I think most blacks will work this way, but I'm just going to get a hint of black in here, just a little bit, okay? And if I need more, I'll come back. And I have white, and we're going to do a little mixing now. So I'm going to go with a brush that's got a point to it, if I can. I can find something that's decent here. Oh, this ain't too bad. This just looks good. I'll get this one. Now, we'll put just a little bit of water in here. I'm going to keep that more the paint than anything else. I'm going to get that mixed up real good. Okay. I'm going to get that over here. Take all the paint out of that brush. Rinse the paintbrush. Okay. And then I'm going to get some white. Go and pick that up from the tray. And I'm going to mix that in there. So you're saying, how much is that? Well, we're going to make it gray. And this is how much you want to make the thing, the mouse gray. So like rinsed it out again, took all the paint out, pick up some more black. I may not even have enough, which I don't think I will. So rinse the brush out again. I probably went real chintzy on the black. Yeah, there we go. We're starting to get there now. Now, I have the sample here, so I could do a close look at this, and we're still a light gray to a darker gray. So here we go. I'm going to go back and reverse myself a little bit. I really didn't put that much black in there, so I'll put some more paint in there. So it's a trial and error type thing. So I'm going to get that down in there. I'm going to stir this up. And you can see how dark it can get. So I'll pick up some of that, put it over here, and we'll get it a little grayer. And then pick up a little more of the black as I mix it in there. I think it had more white in the brush at the time, but that's okay. And I mix it over here. And I think we're right around where we want to be. Let's see. Yeah, see, we're pretty close now. Okay. So it's a mixing. And if I can put a dab in here just to show you, there's like the gray you're looking for, okay? And it's kind of solid in a sense. Now, the thing we need to do is we're going to paint everything. Even the eyes again, don't worry about that, and the ears, and the legs, but you're going to paint this leg here. You're going to come down through here, and you're only going to do like 3/4 of the tail. This in the center will stay white. If you go over, don't worry about it, okay? So here we go. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to come right in. I'm doing the nose and everything, okay? I'm applying that on. I want to do the head. Just the head, okay? So, and if you get a little rambunctious and it goes all over the place, don't worry about it. We have the white. And this is a lot more watery. So I should have dabbed my brush off before I started. It's really runny. And that was a mistake on my part. See, what you should do is get the paint, stir it up, then take the excess off. This way you always have control and how much paint you're maneuvering around. And it may not get you there on the first go around. Okay, we have to dry this. And we will not reach the right mix until, or the coat, I should say, until maybe the second coat. And again, I don't mind doing that. Some people want to do it in one coat. And as I used to tell my students, you're not painting the porch. You know, they have to see the color. And it doesn't always work that way with washes. But in this case here, if we were a little heavier, you would get there faster, for sure. But I don't want this runny all over the place. And I should have made maybe the mix a little heavier. Just got more water in there than I want. But it'll work itself out. You'll see. So I'm just trying to get, it doesn't look like an even coat, I'll tell you that right off. So don't think that this is the end all, it isn't. So I'm going to come down here. Hope I'm in camera range because I'm notorious for talking and walking this thing all over the place. Here we go. So here we go. Well, I didn't want to go that far in, but that's okay too. So I'm going to stop right there. It doesn't look pretty. Not yet. Okay, I want to get any of the watery spots spread out. Okay, so it's not even. Now I'm going to rinse my brush and I'm going to dry this. Okay, I'll bring this back into play. And it looks like I missed a spot or two here. I'm just going to try to wrong one. Just try to coat that just a little bit more. There we go. Now this doesn't look pretty now, I'll be honest with you. But it will come together. I just have a little too much water in the mix. This happens sometimes, but it's not a major problem. And I got a little more gray in the middle there, and I didn't want it, but we have white, so white will get us back to square one. I'm trying to dry everything over here really good so that the gray is all dry before I even handle it. Okay? And if I miss a spot, which I can see on the leg here on the top of the hind leg, I'll have to hit that again. So not a problem. Not a problem. It's a little messy right now, but I could have used the heavier mix. Okay? Now, put that off to the side. It's pretty dry. See, I'm touching it. It's holding up. Now, I'll do the tail. Let me see. I'm going to end up getting that black in here a little bit more. I'm going to do about coming down on this side of it and this side of it. Okay. And what I'll do is I'm going to take all the paint out of there, and then I'm just going to just run that lightly on either side, just to break a hard edge. Okay, like so. Okay, and we'll come back in with the white. Okay, now I'm going to dry that. Just saw something here. I got a glob of the paint right here. Let me just smooth that out. Yeah, it just had too much water in it. So you may want to use a little less water when you're doing this. And the trick is just to experiment. Don't think you've ruined everything you haven't. It'll come out. It's probably one of the easier things to paint. Maybe. Okay. we got that. Now, let me rinse my brush out. We're going to try to get that mix again. I'm going to pick up some of the white. I'm going to put it in here. Stir that up a little bit. I'm going to try to minimize the water in there. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back in for the black. I'm going to try to get that so we can get the same gray that we had before. And if you're a hair off, it depends. If you want a lighter gray, that's your choosing, okay? Now you want to get most of the black off your brush. Come in here, mix that, okay, like so. Let's see how close that is. Still a little lighter, I need more black. Okay, so I'm not working the water in here as much as I got a glob of black in there and I'm trying to really get that dissolved. Oops. Yeah, dissolved it right into the cloth here. I'm going to come in here, pick up some more of this, stir that up, and I think that's where we want to be right there. So here we go. I'm going to give it a second coat. I'm going to come in here, and at that time you could see if you have the right color or not. Okay. So I'm painting everything and I'm trying to go in one direction. And you don't want to overwork your paint. You don't want to go back and forth. You're brushing it on and you're moving on. Okay. And you come back to the top here, apply, and just gently keep moving it so it looks like it's coating it. Okay. Get into the ears. Now, you can start to see that's coming together. Maybe a spot or two. If we need a third coat, we will do that, but for the most part, we're getting pretty close. But there may be a spot or two that still stands out when we get done. So I'm going to come in. I'm painting all of this down through here. I'm sort of leaving that one area in the stomach area alone. Okay. And this may come out on the second coat, may not. Just depends on how it's been, how thick the paint is and how heavy a coat. If I see a light spot, I'm going to go back in and try to grab it. But it may take a third coat to do this. So bear with me. But you don't want to overwork it. You don't want to keep doing this. If you notice, I'm going like almost in one direction when I put this on. So it's not overworking, because your brush can act like a sponge and pick up as much paint as you put down. So you don't want to do that. So I'm looking at this and just see if there's any light spots. I just touch it up just a hair. Okay. And I got a feeling I'm going to go for a third coat. Now, some of you may want to come in and make this heavier. Okay. I think I got just a little too much water on the first coat, definitely. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush out just to get most of the paint out of there. Then I'm going to hit this again. I think we're getting close. And you got to have the patience here, and you got to get the coloring, whatever you're looking for as far as the gray. You know, you're now going to determine what appeals to you as far as the gray. Okay, and this is the key. So you're not perfect yet, and I'm not really worrying about that, because we're going to come back in with some of the white in the center section here. And we'll even throw a little gray in there to dirty it up too, but I want to get everything dry. And you can see right in this area here in the back, it didn't take it as well. The front's starting to come together, so I will probably hit it for a third coat. So don't get hung up over it. This is me. I made the mistake of probably getting too much water in there, more so than the paint. So let me do this. Yeah, we're dry. Okay, I'll do the tail last on that. So we're going to get a little more white again. Put it over here. I'm going to grab some of this black. Mix that. And then I'm going to paint this. There we go. Now, this third coat should put us right on, but I want to make sure it gets everything else that it should have gotten. So I'm coming in here. And again, you know, we're not going for as much realism as it looking like a mouse, you know what I mean? And if we get close, we'll give you your interpretations of what the mouse color should look like. That's what we're trying to do here, okay? So I just keep on adding until I get a nice gray consistency. I'm losing some of the paint. I should have mixed a little more paint too. So not a problem. We can always go back. So I'm going to get as much paint on my brush here. I know this spot here was sort of weak. So I come in here. It's coming together though. Spot in there we missed. And some more of this. I'm really going down to getting the last part of this. Now it's starting to really come together on this third coat. Let me snag a little over here. I see a spot that, there we go. Could have probably sanded that a little bit better too. But if I was getting real technical, I would, if I was doing like a bird, I'd be more picky. And I will. If you ever seen me do any of this, I get real picky on how everything's got to look. So we're starting to come into our own here on this, and it's starting to shape up. Okay, the gray is right about where we want to be. And you know what? If you ever see any flaws and you didn't get everything out or something like that, before you finish painting, you can always touch it up. You know what I mean? You always have a chance to come back and do it. You know, it's not like you're destroying a lot of detail. You're not. But if you miss something and it starts to expose it, now's the time where you can touch it up and just keep painting again. Okay? A few more coats on here is not going to hurt this. Okay? Now, I see one thing that's bothering me, which is right in here. Okay. I'll touch that and put some paint. Okay, most of this has got it, except for a couple of spots, like in here, and right in here. And right back in here. I'm trying to make all my gray last here, so bear with me here. I'm going to come in, try to do the tail with what I have left. Right in here. And then I'm going to do the other side. Just noticed I missed a spot there. Pick this up. And I'm going to come down here. Okay, and you can see we have a white streak coming down here. But I'm going to come in a little bit more at the end here. Now, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to touch around here. Now, before I walk away from this, and we're not done, trust me, we're not done. I'm going to pick up a little white, and I'm going to come in here. And sort of wet blend this right on down here, like so. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to come up a little higher. And I'm going to get a little heavier white right in there. But it's all wet. This is a wet on wet. Okay. And then you just glide that right on down, and it'll blend. Okay, goes from a gray into a white. So now, here's what happens when you get runny. See what happens? If you have too much water in there, that ran around to the back side here. So here's what I do. I rinse my brush out. I dry it out, took the moisture out, and then I just come right along, and that picks it right up. Just that easy. Acts like a sponge, and you can pick the paint right back up. Now, there you go. Okay. Now, I'm going to dry this one more time. Rinse my brush out again. You always want to conserve on keeping your brush in good shape. Let me dry this whole thing out now. say I'm pretty good on this side. This side is probably could use a little more gray. I'll try to be honest with you. Now, the last thing is, I'm going to get a smaller brush. So if I could find my trusty pointed brush. There it is. I'm going to get this one. This is my number 3. It goes right into a point. I'm going to get some white. And this is going to come in. Let me show you how that is. See how it is here? You're going to have white coming up under the nose here and white coming up. It's almost for like from the paw up. So I'm going to come in here like so. Okay. Get a little more white. Right up to the nose. Hope you can see this and I didn't go out of camera range. So it's right off the paw. Comes right in here. Get a little more white. I'm going to do this side. Okay. I'll come back and touch a little bit in here too. A little bit here. Because we're really not trying to make hairs here. We're smoothies aren't as detailed as some of them are, but not this mouse. Okay. I'm going to touch it just a little bit more, which is right in here. Here. And touch it. Now, this comes up a little higher now. Here's what I do. Right off of this paw and just a little higher. Right off the paw, stays white. Okay. And do the same on the other side. Get a little white. Come off of this paw. Then I'm going to try to smooth out all of the white. See if I'm a little too high here. Maybe I am. Again, I just get a moistened brush, take most of the moisture out. I could come back in and scrub that and get that back to where it was, or where it should be, I should say. There you go. Now, before that gray goes away, I'm going to touch this up here. Just to cover that up. Right through there. Okay. So, we're in good shape. Now, let's see. I did say this needs a little more gray, so I got to do it. I got to go in and create a little more gray. So I think I still have a little more black in here. It never dissolved completely, so you can see that. And then I'm going to pick up clean my brush, get a little white, mix that in there with it. Okay. And then I'm going to come in and do a little touch-up work here. Well, that may have been darker. I had too much of the black in there. Here's where I didn't mess up, because we can blend it out. That's got that. That's got that. Get a little bit of this right in there. Just blend that off. Okay. Now, let's see what oh God. You know what I just did? I just did that to my original. Oh yeah. How'd I get that in my hand? It's this one I wanted to work on. You can tell I'm losing it. Here it is. Get this. Bring this up again. We'll get this right. Sorry about that. Got too many mice around here. And then this should have been coming straight across here. Like so. I hope you're seeing that. And I did move out of the camera range. Okay. That looks pretty good. Can't believe I went back on my original. Do you believe that? Yeah, I can. I touch this up, my gray. Keep everything consistent. So what I'm saying is from like the paw right here over to the bottom of the nose, the white comes shoot across right through here. Okay? And that's all you need. It looks like this. Okay? Now, I'm seeing this. This is what I missed that I was trying to accomplish, that I worked on my original. So I don't believe I hurt the original at all. There we go. Now we got that. Now, before we go too much further, because we only have another step or two to go, I'm going to come back in here again, and I'm going to clean this eye. Okay? Now, this will work the same way as we did before with just a titanium white one there. I'm going to come around, expose as much of the eye. You all I have to do is break the surface a little bit. I'm going to get my bigger brush. I'm going to come in and just wet it to get some of that remnants out of there. Then I'm going to go back in again. Just make sure I have all the paint off the eye. It comes off real easy. It really does. And to clean it up, you just moisten your brush and pick it up, and that gets the eye exposed, okay? Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. Come in here. And I scratch that just to break the surface. I'm not digging at all. I'm just gliding the edge of the knife into the paint. Clean my brush off, come in, get any of the remnants off of there. Then you can see what's exposed. There's still little pieces of paint. You don't want to go digging in because you don't want to surface the white underneath there. You're just trying to get the paint off of the eye. Now, I'll come back in, rinse my brush out again, take all the moisture out, and then you clean the eye. Now, if there's anything I missed, which I see, it's right up in this corner. I just come in, I just touch it. And you're trying to get exposure of the eye to the maximum. Okay, so we got that done. Now, here we go. We're going for the final touch. Now, I'm going to get any red. This happens to be a crimson. And I'm just getting a little bit of it out. Okay, not hardly any. And what I want is a pinkish color. So what we have is I'm going to play the water game real tight. I have a little bit of moisture in the brush here, very little. I'm going to pick up some of the white. I'm coming into the red. That comes up really bright. So I'm going to rinse my brush out. I'm going to get some more of the white. I'm going to come in here. And even that's too pink. Okay. So I'm taking that out. Rinse my brush out because I don't want to contaminate the white yet. I'm trying to use all that I have in here to get a real light pink. Okay. Rinse that out. Then I'll come up. I'll try to get some more white. Put that in there, and I think we're right there now. So I take all the paint off that I can. I'm going to go into the ear. Here we go, I'm sorry. Went into the ear with just the pink. I'm doing just the center. Okay, like so. And let's see if I don't have enough one there already. Yeah, I'll pick up just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Depending on how pink you want to make it, it's up to you again. And I'm coating all around what would be the inner part of the ear. Okay. If you want to get it a little more pinker, you can add a little bit more. See, something like that, and like that will do it. Now, the nose, which you have outlined somewhat, is going to be the same color. So you're painting just that outline of the nose. Okay. And we're going to do the bottom here. Hope I didn't go out of camera again. Let me get this all the way down to here. Coming around here. Okay. Hope you're seeing it. And I didn't go out of camera range again. Down to here. I'm trying to stay within the framework of the nose. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we got a pink nose. Got the ears pinked out. And I'm going to touch up a little bit right over in there. And there's our mouse. We're not done yet. We're 99% done. Now, if you remember, we had markings in here for toes. There was one right there, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to put it in again. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to go back in and burn them so that they stand out. And then we also had, just below the nose here, we had a little C right in here. And that was the mouth. So what I'm going to do, stop shaking and I'll get it. I'm going to use my burner. So do I got the right one? No. Got too many burners in front of me here. There we go. Okay. I'm going to come in. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to touch and put 1 toe in, 2 toes in, 3 toes in, and 4 toes in. There we go. Then I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And then the last thing we do is the mouth. And we put a little C right there. And that will stay bright like that to indicate the mouth. Okay? And guess what? There's our mouse. Okay? Now, you could want to do a little bit of touching up, which I may do after I get done here, and give it maybe a little more gray in here, but I'm sort of happy. I watch how this thing, the pink is settling out, and I may just go back in to highlight a spot. This side doesn't look too bad, but I'll just get a little more pink in there. And the nose, just a little bit more. And I see a little white I'm going to do right in here. These are just finishing touches. I'll pick up some of the white, and I just want to tap that right in here. Right in there. Okay, and there we are. There is our mouse, okay? Now for those who are going to, now here we go, it's sitting right on there, and we're good to go. Now, the only thing I could see is I'm going to need to touch up this a little bit with gray, and let's see, maybe that little spot right there. And you could go back and mix a little more gray and get it just the way you want it. This guy here, if you're going to do the same thing as far as the nose goes and the ears, the burning goes over the white, and then you get, it's burnt umber. It's a watered down wash. What you do is put maybe a BB size of paint to about a half a cup of water. And then you do that a couple times. And you leave the white in the center, okay? And do the dark down the middle here. And depending on how dark you want it, you could keep on making that more until you're satisfied with that. So I hope you enjoyed this project. This is a lot of fun. It's not that tedious, and we accomplished it in like 5 or 6 videos now, which is surprising. So I don't know what I'm going to do next, but it'll probably be a bird. I just haven't picked it out yet. So if you guys will hang in there, probably in about a week or so, I will come up with a new project. And I hope you enjoyed these as we did. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up on this. And if you would subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that greatly. And there's your mouse. And you can have some fun with it, with your friends and all, putting it on their glass or having it as a talking piece around. So I hope you enjoyed this project too. So hope to see you on the next video, and keep carving.